All right, good morning, guys. Today is Thursday, November 9th. As usual, doing analysis for US 30, gold, and EU. So here for US 30, watch this zone 34,132. That's a 15-minute valid buy. So, and also we have valid double SARs, break and continuation on the hourly and on the 4-hour time frame. So on the hourly, we have this one. So it was break continuation. So I marked up where somebody who took this trade would achieve a 1:1 risk to reward. And of course, you can see that this person would have gotten taken out at stop or gotten stopped out. So that's the key thing about waiting for post New York. And today we have too many setups. So here, that's the 1 hour. This is the 4-hour area. That's 4-hour area is somewhere. Maybe we don't have the 4 hours. So it was all, no, we had 4 hour. Yeah. 4 hour is down here that validated. So same break and continuation validated at the top here as well. So for these two trades, they've already validated. So we need to find an entry on the 1 minute time frame. So right now, I'll go down to the 1 minute time frame and find that two candle closures on the 1 minute. Also, this zone, this buy right here, when US 30 comes back to 34,131, that should also be a momentum buy entry. So here, what I'll do, I'll reduce the SARs, and then I need two 1 minute SARs to form, and I'll be buying US 30. No, a live 1 minute SAR to form, and I'll be buying US 30. Also here, since this is the buy zone 34,132, based off of the momentum strategy, we need to see where this, so here we actually may need to extend this SARs only for the momentum strategy. So I do know it's a lot of them, but we want price to swing back up to that area that I've marked with the blue line. So as we wait either for the SAR entry, gold, if gold wants to keep pumping up, that's fine. On the hourly time frame and 4-hour time frame, for the 4-hour time frame on gold, this is a double SAR right here. This zone where currently gold is, I think this is an hourly time frame. I think this is an hourly time frame, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so this is an hourly double SAR. So this may give us a test and rejection entry later on. So right now there's nothing. This is a 4 hour. So even the break and continuation was invalidated on the 4 hour. So there was the break candle, the continuation candle closed above. So this area, this setup was invalidated. So US 30 can keep going down as much as it wants, but keep in mind it has already validated on the hourly and 4 hour timeframes. It has validated these two setups. So we just need a 1 minute entry, and I'll be taking US 30, a US 30 buy. So either that, or we know here that this is a 15-minute buy momentum entry. So this is the last valid 15-minute buy momentum. So if we go to the 15-minute, we'll see that. And we have so many. If you guys saw the Discord, I sent like 15 trade setups. So if you don't get one, just wait for the other. So this is that 15-minute buy momentum. 30-minute. 30-minute is this zone. So here, this is also a 30-minute buy momentum. So if you guys remember yesterday, I took a screenshot of a trade I took. I didn't take it. I didn't catch it in time for this buy momentum, but you can see also here, the idea with buy momentums, if they're valid, because you need a rejection. If you guys remember the requirements, you need the previous 1 to 3 candles to have rejected off of an SAR. So here, this candle was rejecting off of an SAR. And this wasn't, the signal candle wasn't the lowest candle of the retracement. So when price comes back down here to the low or high of the signal candle, you drop down to the 1 minute and find an entry there. But on the 30-minute, there's no buy momentum signal right now. So it's either that 15-minute buy momentum or this live SAR. So we just formed a live SAR. So if we get 2 candle closures above here, and today I might be a little quick because we have a lot of trade setups. And keep in mind nowadays, right, since I'm risking 1% per trade, I'm only taking what I consider to be the best trade setups of the day. So if we have like 15, I don't want to gamble and say maybe I'll take this, but this US 31, I'll definitely take it if we do get those 2 candles closing above here, or we do get a buy momentum signal in this area. So gold, we already know there's no setup for gold right now. EU had a bunch of valid buy momentums right here. And I think EU would have hit full TP because I was looking for this buy on EU on the hourly time frame, the one I'd sent in the Discord, and I think it already hit full TP because the buy was based off of yesterday's setup. So yesterday, and let me put the US 30 chart so that this right here. So this right here, break continuation. But then because the trade is overextended, you go ahead and mark up where somebody who takes the trade would set break even. So nowadays for FX pairs, I do 15 pips stop, 30 pips TP. So you'd have marked up there. Nope, nothing yet for US 30. So the trade validated on the next candle. For me, that's a red flag overextension. So you'd want to wait for a retracement back to the zone. So you'd want for price to retrace back here, but also to avoid FOMO, you mark up where somebody would be setting break even if they decided to take the trade. And you can see they barely got to a 1:1 risk to reward if somebody had took that trade. But then eventually overnight, you see that EU came back down and came and give you like a retest of your zone. So this is the zone you'd have looked for a 1 minute entry. So we got that 1 minute entry today before New York. I don't trade before New York session. So it's risk to reward, right? Or opportunity cost. If I had taken the trade, I would almost be at full TP, but I've gotten burnt trading before New York, and I realized that my niche is trading after New York has started. So that's the reason I prefer waiting. for New York to start. So let's see where gold again is headed. So possibly gold is headed to 1960, 62 area. So that's the next area. Also remember, we have that 4-hour buy momentum signal, valid 4-hour buy momentum signal on gold. So if I go to the 4-hour, you'll see it because I've marked it up here. No, this is EU. Which one is it? This one at 1964, 1963. And also actually, no, this wasn't a valid one because if you are taking momentum signals anywhere under the daily time frame, you'll go ahead and turn on the moving average filter. Yeah. So that 1964, that's a critical area for gold to keep pumping. But until then, nothing as of yet. US 30. So this is the last candle that can close above here so that the next candle also closes above and maybe the entry candle. But if this candle closes below this SAR, there is no need of holding on this live SAR.
I know you said there's no buys on gold, but I just want you to look at something because I've taken this before, but I haven't seen it till today again. If you go on a 15-minute time frame and pull up the live SARs, I get a momentum buy signal right there, right under the live SAR on gold. Let me see if we're on the same.
Or you say, give me 1 second. So you say momentum buy. So if it's momentum buy and it's 15-minute, then I'll do that.
Oh, yours was off. So yeah, turn the filter on and you should get the buy.
Which one? This one? So
Yeah,
there's
mine shows up right under that SAR right there. It's a buy signal.
so you'd have to extend your SARs here.
Yeah, no, not with the double even. I did
No,
check
no,
the
but
double too, and it
you
did
don't
validate, but I wanted to know if you can use the live ones. Because this time it did line up with a double also, as you see, but sometimes it doesn't. It just lines up with the live one.
wait, I don't, is it this one or which one?
Yeah, it's not showing up on yours. Give me one
Or,
second. Let me see if my settings are different.
or what provider are you using? What broker? Mm,
I posted it because it's not showing up on yours for whatever reason. It shows up on mine though.
okay, give me a second. Mm, see something. All right. So what this one, the one at the bottom, or this one?
The one right under that live saw, yeah, that one.
This one, and this is so gold 15 minutes or under. Gold 15 minutes or under. So for you, gold 15 minutes or under. So it's yours is under. Yeah, so yours is showing up here. Maybe you don't have the moving average filter on. Maybe that's why. Because if I turn off my moving average filter, but mine, if I turn off, is your moving average filter on or off?
It's on, I believe. I'll double check though, because I don't have
Okay.
that many buys on mine.
And then you say this was a live. Okay, even then it would be a valid one, but I wonder why. Do you have anything in error pips allowed? Or is it zero? and you're using Oanda Gold Sport. Okay, either way. So what I don't know why mine is not showing. So I
Yeah,
don't
it's on,
know.
and the error pips is 0. Um, yeah, I don't know. Let me see if there's anything else on your settings different than mine. I don't think so. Only thing I see different is I have both buy and sells on, but other than that, is my MA 9? Let me check my moving average and see if it's 9.
Um it should be HMA. Oh yeah, also HMA and length 9 as opposed to EMA. So if you have EMA, maybe yeah, so I think you have, so if I do EMA, it shows up. But even then it doesn't show this other. So what's your moving average settings? If I do EMA, it shows up, but
It's
it
on
doesn't
HMA, but
HMA is
I don't think
9.
it's on 9 though. Let me see where your 9 is. Right
So
next to it. I
here,
think I have us. Let me
all right, so this thing wants to keep dumping, the better.
I have 60 and 110 in
Okay.
that
Yeah, so yours is the default. Um yeah, so yeah, if you do 60, then yeah, so it's showing up that way. But anyway, even if you want to, if that's what's working for you, yes, that's still a valid momentum buy. But the idea here is you would wait for price to retrace here. So you'd ideally either put an alert here so that if price gets here, you'd then go down to the 1 minute time frame and look for the same setup, rejection off of a 1 minute SAR, not a live one. Because remember, with the momentum strategy, you should extend your SARs everywhere. As using the SAR strategy by itself, that's when if you go down to the 5 minute and 1 minute, you only use your live SAR. But the idea here is, so same thing that I'm waiting for US 30 here. The idea is that if price gets back there where that signal was created, you would then drop down to the 1 minute time frame and look for the same setup in the same area. So that's the same thing for gold. So the idea here would be for those settings you're using, you'd want price to retrace back in this zone at 1949. And if you're looking for buys, you'd then drop to the 1 minute time frame and look for a buy signal using this, following those three requirements. Signal candle should not be the lowest candle. Previous either one to three candles before the signal candle should have rejected off of an SAR. Doesn't have to be a double SAR. And then if you have the moving average filter, of course, for buys, price is going to be should be above the moving average. For sales, price should be yeah. But the way you do this momentum things, this is what you'd expect. This, and that if you're trading a momentum. Best case, if during heavy news, best case something like this, because the momentum shows you the last area buyers or sellers stepped in. So kind of think of them too as order blocks. So for me, I'll put this back
gotcha.
to 9. I'm not looking for buys on gold, so green sells, and I'll do that. All right, and then turn this back to sells. All right, so no setup for gold on the 15-minute, on the 30-minute either. Probably gold will get to 1962 before any reversal. Gold, same thing. We might get a test and rejection here on the hourly of 4 hours. So right now, US 30 is definitely one of the trades I'll take today. For my second trade, second trade, EU already left without me. So, I just opportunity costs. So, but gold is definitely, I'm sorry, US 30 is definitely one of the trades I will be taking today. Also, keep an eye out on those momentum signals on the 15-minute and 30-minute time frame. Because, for example, that US 31 that I took yesterday, this one right here, and it showed up like what at 1 p.m. I wasn't thinking, literally, I wasn't thinking of the momentum strategy. Because here I was trying to trade. I took a loss yesterday and then I took a break even. But I was taking a test and rejection entry. But then after the fact, that's when I saw this buy right here at the bottom. And if you would have taken this on the 1 minute time frame, because you would have had to go down to the 1 minute time frame when price retraced down to this momentum area. I think the entry was probably somewhere, I don't know, I don't remember. But you'd have gotten an entry somewhere around here. Whatever it was. And either way, you would have either hit TP or probably break even depending on where you entered. But yeah, keep an eye out on those momentum. I know I normally look for them mostly on the 4-hour and 1-hour timeframes and also daily, but this 30-minute momentum entries and 15-minute are pretty nice as well. So US 30, we need that momentum. I'm sorry, we need that live SAR. Also keep in mind this blue line is where the 15-minute momentum, the bias kicked in. So if this momentum is to be used at this point, they probably stop hunting buyers before, because when price gets to 34,132, US 30 would be spiking up to the upside. So this is the 15-minute momentum buy. And then this is the 30-minute momentum buy from yesterday.
How speaks later, you think it's any gold manipulation right now possibly happening?
Well, I wouldn't say it's manipulation, it's just price action.
I was
Because
gonna say too, because gold was at a monthly low zone,
right? It was.
Yeah, I almost bought off impulse when I seen that. I didn't, but it was at a monthly low zone, if I'm not mistaken. Either gold or US 31 or
Because if you consider what's happening to gold, this is not a huge move. 1950 to 1957, a $7 move is not huge on gold. So this is
yeah.
nothing but a retracement. And keep in mind that daily SAR is at 1976. And normally after a daily bias has changed, you'd expect that daily SAR level to be tested before price continues. So same way, right? Same way that EU did for the last 2 or 3 days after creating that, continuing the bullish change, because it never really changed from bullish to bearish because they tried to close below but pumped it up. You see how these daily candles are rejecting off of the SAR zone. So to me, this is just a retracement or price action. So even right now, when I'm running my EA, I'm still running sells on the EA. And that's the best thing about retracements, because you're just stacking positions. So I'm maybe
Last
not
one
really.
question, Bazen. I don't know if you discussed this on the daily bias thing.
Mhm.
If your daily bias is bullish, if it creates another buy SAR, do you start over your count? Like if it
Do I
closes
start?
over another buy
Yeah,
SAR,
yeah,
you
you start
start.
over your count. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
All right, so there goes that US 31-minute live SAR. I need 2 1-minute candles to close below here. I'm sorry, to close above there. Also, I'm curious. And this thing has been hanging over US 30's head. This daily bearish high has been playing and playing around it. But I'm not trading the order block and I'm looking for buys, so I'm not really. Let's see, we go to the zones. I'm curious to see who is sitting around here. Yeah, so we have a bunch of buyers, so you can see this. So as much as we have a daily bearish order block right here, I like how I'm seeing those buyers. Because as much as we have a daily bearish order block, what's the daily bias? Daily bias is still bullish. So if this current candle closes above there, I will be taking a buy on US 30. I'll for you guys, use a 0.75 risk For me, you guys already know nowadays I'm risking 1% per trade and limiting myself to 2 trades a day. If it doesn't, that's fine. We still have space on that live SAR for 2 more candles to close. So make sure my auto trader is on. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just wait. Make sure it closes. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so I'm in that buy on US 30. This is similar to like that buy I hopped in on yesterday afternoon. So anyway, we'll see. So if you're in that trade, 0.75% risk or less. If you want to risk 1% like me. So I like how the 1:1 risk to reward is next to the 15-minute buy momentum. So we need to get there. We need to get there, and that should give us a momentum. So this trade is based off of an hourly and 4-hour validation. So if you go to the hourly time frame, we had a break and continuation. Where was that? Actually, we had break. Oh, break continuation entry. So this trade is actually based off of it validated up here, but of course we would have had to wait. And you can see the best thing about retracements, right? So here you would have gotten stopped out automatically. So you would have waited for price to retrace to your zone and then went down to the 1 minute, but you can see how the 1 minute kept dropping and gave you or has given us even a lower entry all the way down here. So that's the best thing about waiting for a retracement. You always get a better entry, in my opinion. But anyway, yeah, this trade we just got in, it's based off of a 1 hour. It's also based off of a 4-hour entry. If you go to the 4-hour candles, you'll see this was a 4-hour double SAR zone. So that was also break and continuation that the trade also validated up there. So these trades are based off of hourly and 4-hour setups. Not sure we'll get anything for gold unless gold comes to this 1962 zone for maybe a 15-minute or 30-minute sell. But anyway, in the meantime, I sent something yesterday in the trade ideas section regarding the first day after a daily, and I guess right now we have time to test this out because wait, let me first close this out. Yo, Audrey, volatility over the last few days has been terrible. I thought I was gonna pass that phase 2 today. Now I only need $200 more. Man, I don't know. I'm not in a rush. I mean, I know I can make that 200 even though on a manual trade, but let's see. Give me 1 second. 10, 4. Huh. Oh shit, wait. That's the period today. um, give me a second. You know what? Never mind. I just passed. If this shit closes. Man, now I need $2 more. All right. So my bad, guys. I'm trying. I'm running some HFT system on. I'm trying to see if I can get some next, what is it called? NSF, next step funded accounts. Even though I hear their payment sometimes is a little weird. Okay. Yeah. So with this daily bias change, so where are those requirements? So on the first day of a daily bias change, you want to check for signals from all our indicators. So the crosses indicator, the breakout indicator, the crossover signals are also in the breakout indicator, reversal signals, momentum signals, and trend signals. So for this one, it's on the closure of that daily candle. So for example, here, if we go on gold, and we can backtest both gold and US 30 for like 1 or 2 or the last 4 times it's done this. So the daily bearish bias on gold came on the close of Tuesday, 7th November. So on the open of the daily candle of Wednesday, 7th November, you would look to enter trade signals or entries provided by all of this. So starting off with the crosses indicator, you'll see, what was that, November 7th? So yeah, November 8th. So Wednesday, November 8th. So crosses indicator is right here. So November 8th was what? November 8th. So this one also, you shouldn't worry about the time of day, because remember, you're not taking huge lot sizes. So November 8th ended when November 8th ended here, maybe. I don't know. So this, and again, this is on the 15-minute time frame. So right here, right there. So the idea is, like for gold, you do like 0.5 lot sizes, and this is on a 100K account, right? So 0.5 lot sizes. So you do 0.5 lots, sell here, 0.5 lot sell, 0.5 lot sell. Since this was too far in the day, I don't know, maybe you can still take it. I don't know, it's up to you. So when you go to the breakout indicator, same thing as well. Wednesday, October 7th, or Wednesday, November 7th, I'm sorry, Wednesday, November 7th, and US 30 might get stopped out on that US 30 trade. Wednesday, November 7th, same thing here. Started off here, Wednesday, November 7th. So you just want to take them on that particular day. So Wednesday, November 7th ended somewhere here. So you would have taken this sales as well on gold, 0.5 lots, 0.5 lots. So the crossover indicators is this little X's you're seeing. So you see, like, this X right here would have been a sell. This X right here would have been a sell. If you right click and create an alert, you'll see that they're called, so you choose breakout scanner. So you can see there's breakout buy, breakout sell, and crossover buy, crossover sell. Okay, I'm done with phase 2 on this shit. Let's see. Perfect. So breakout buy, breakout sell. So the breakout signals is when this X's cross. So it's ideally when the 5 EMA. So remember, the breakout indicator has 5 EMA, 9 EMA, 200, 5, 9, 250. So whenever the 5 EMA crosses, just got stopped out on that US 30 trade. So you can see it's probably coming to this 30-minute buy momentum. But at this point, since I'm already down with that one trade, what I'll do now, I need to be careful, because if that trade has already taken me out at a loss, I only have one more trade to take for the day, because if I lose the next trade, that I'm done for the day, because I'll be down 2% for the day. So right now I'm down 1% for the day. So right now I need to be careful too. I mean, I like the trade setup. I would still take it again if time was to go back, but it's just one of those times you get stopped out. So right now I can probably look to get into either a test and rejection here on the 15-minute time frame. This is a also possible test and rejection on the 15-minute time frame in here, and I think also a 30-minute test and rejection here also. So whichever comes first. If US 30 wants to keep dumping, I know we have this momentum area right here, but for right now, I'll not enter this momentum just yet, because right now, if you wanted to take this momentum entry, you'd need to go down to the 1-minute time frame. and then you extend your SARs because remember, this is the momentum strategy and not the SAR strategy. So you can extend your SARs on the 1 minute, and then you'd wait for a buy signal to fire here. But then you would need on the 1 minute, and we don't really have any SARs at this zone because all of these areas are double SAR zone. So you'd need like a live SAR to start being created right here. Because remember, the requirements of the SARs, one of the requirements of the momentum strategy is that one of the preceding 3 candles of a signal candle should have rejected off of an SAR zone. So for me, unless you guys want me to stick to this chart, if you want to see how I would interpret that, I can do that as well. But I know that we probably have a 15-minute setup or a 30-minute setup on US 30. So I'll probably go back to the 15-minute time frame or 30-minute time frame, either at 10:15 or 10:30. So anyway, so going back here, for the crosses, so this would be like a 0.5 buy, 0.5 sell, 0.5 lot sell. If you want to take this other breakout signals as well, sure, but of course you don't want to override yourself too much. So what I would recommend, out of all these signals, whether it's the crosses, whether it's the, where's that list, whether it's the crosses, whether it's the breakout, reversal, etc., the crossover actually gives you an earlier signal than anything else. So because remember, the crosses is when the 5 EMA crosses any of the other EMAs in the breakout candle. In the breakout indicator. So for example, here, let's just see which one would have been the most efficient sell. So with the crossover indicator, after the beginning of day on Wednesday, the first sell you'd have been given at this is the first red X, so that's the first crossover at 1965.53. Okay, with the crosses indicator, your first sell would have been given at on that opening of day 1966.68. So in this case, the crosses indicator would have given you the highest sell. The first breakout sell using the breakout indicator would have been given here at 1962.9. And then what's the other indicators I talked about? The reversal indicator. So we want to go to Wednesday. I don't think the reversal indicator gave any entries on the 15 minutes. So because Wednesday started here, so it gave later on in the day all the way down here. So you'd have already been in sales up here. What's the other indicator? Momentum did not have anything. And trend. I haven't used the trend indicators in a while. So trend wouldn't have given you any sales. Yeah, trend would have given you a sell. This is Wednesday. Yeah, trend would have given you a sell at 1967. So I think the trend sell would have been the most efficient one. But the idea here is, because if you ask yourself, what's the purpose of so this buy is invalid. The reason this buy is invalid, yes, the signal candle is not the lowest candle of the retracement, but we would have wanted this candle to have rejected off of an SAR. So maybe there was some SARs way back, but keep in mind, SARs are only valid for 500 candles. So not to say previously in the past there were no SARs here, but if you can't really see any SAR, I'll just say don't try to force it. But it would have only been valid if price had rejected, or if this candle was rejecting off of an SAR. So here, what I would want to see, even if it means taking this, 30-minute momentum buy, I would need US 30 to start creating SARs right here, green SARs, so that price can reject from those green SARs. So if I go back to this one, the idea for this, it's not really a strategy. It's because you're just using the daily bias. So the idea here is, if you look at any of these charts with the daily bias, so let's do gold. So when gold closed here, and my bias changed from bullish to bearish on gold, so it doesn't mean that gold will automatically keep selling, but what the daily bias is telling you is that in the next week, maybe even up to a month, gold will be selling, right? So your work is to find strategies to enter trades based off of that. So the SAR strategy is one, and you can see still with the SAR strategy, you have that tight stop loss sometimes, and sometimes you can get faked out. So it doesn't mean like, for example, here, so here with gold, as much as my daily bias on gold is bearish, it doesn't mean that gold will automatically keep dropping. I do expect. So remember, the first, which is why I give you guys the 7-day limit, not before you turn on the momentum indicator. You do expect some sort of retracements during the first 7 days. But the idea here is, if you know, like for me, I know that gold is going to keep dropping. But yes, with the SAR indicator, SAR strategy, I can get stopped out. With the momentum strategy, I can get stopped out. But looking at all our other indicators, they're giving us potential entries on the day the daily bias has changed. Because remember, the day the daily bias has changed, that is your most highly probable day of catching the top or catching the bottom, if that makes sense. Because you just have to visually test it, look at this. So here, if you started catching buys, here, the daily bias changed from bearish to bullish on Wednesday, 11th October. So if you started catching buys, it might have been small buys, which is why I'm telling you guys on a 100K account, for each entry, use like 0.2, 0.5, maybe even 0.1, so that you can scale in. And in case of a reversal, you're also giving yourself time to add more. But can you imagine, right? If you had taken 0.5 lot sizes here, like 5 of them, so 0.5 lot sizes times 5, that's 2.5. That's 2.5. So 2.5, that's if you would have accumulated that, that's 250 per dollar move. And then you held that for like a $10 move, 1877 to 1887. So you can see how you can, during this whole move, you could have made like 5K, 4K or something. So that's the idea. The idea here is that upon validation, upon change of bias, the next day, the first day when you've changed your bias from bullish to bearish or from bearish to bullish, use those indicators and hop on those signals on that day. On that day alone, don't keep, if you want, you can keep scaling in, but just hop in on those first 3 or 4 signals per indicator on that day. If you want to do like 0.05 lot sizes to start off with, and I'll do this next time we get a change of daily bias, probably maybe US 30 or gold. Don't do it on EU. Don't do it on FX pairs. The reason is FX pairs tend to range a lot. So with FX pairs, you might get burnt a little. So I would say start off with like Bitcoin, gold, NAS, and US 30. So it's nothing different than what we've already been doing. This one, we are just like using small lot sizes and swinging the positions. Also, it's the same thing I'm doing with my EA, right? With my EA, I know gold is going to keep selling. So guess what I just do? I just turn on sells only on gold. But this one, since this is not an EA, but we have a similar kind of thing, you're just using small lot sizes to build positions. And then the next part is you want to hold those setups, nothing here. You want to hold those trades for like 3 days. So just let the trades breathe for like 3 days. And then after day 3, you start either securing your profit or you can secure your whole profit. So you can see here, once you enter those trades, the idea would be that price should keep going in the direction of daily bias for about a week, if not a month. And then you'd want to enter those initial trades with small lot sizes, probably 0.5 on gold or 5 lots on US 30. And then, so think of it as scaling in, and then you then would treat these entries as swing trades for the next 3 or so days. And then after the 3rd day, you can decide to close your trades or start trailing them. So let me know if you guys have, my mouse just died. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I need to charge this freaking mouse. Give me a second. Let me know if that makes sense, or if you guys have any questions for that. But it's just something I was looking at yesterday, because every time, even while using the SAR strategy, we just trade in the direction of daily bias. And most of the times, right, all you have to do is visually backtesting this and just see every time something changed bias from buy to sell or from sell to buy on that first day. Same thing with US 30. If you had taken, because the bias changed here, so if you had stacked in some buys at 33,800 area, you can see you'd have gone up like 400 pips in profit. Same thing here for sales. If you had stacked up sales here, you'd have ridden this price down. Same thing here for buy. If you'd have stacked up buys for the next 3 or so days, you'd have rode price up. So you're just visually, this is how I come up with these strategies. I just visually backtest something. And then I'm like, how would I have, is there any strategy where I would have caught the top, I would have caught the bottom, I would have caught the beginning of a trend? That's literally what I do in order to come up with those strategies. Anyway, so here for US 30, you can see we are at that 30-minute momentum and nothing really is happening. So for the last 2 to 3 days, this has been happening a lot where volatility just dies in the market at some point. So if this happens, all I'll do, I'll save my one trade and maybe try to catch a 15-minute or a 30-minute setup. So at this point, I'll go back to the 15-minute. I remember we had a possible 15-minute setup. So I'll leave this one on here as well because I need to do a trade recap with it. So here, this is a 15-minute zone. So was hoping for a possible test and rejection setup. The test candle closed in between the SAR, so nothing here on the 15-minute time frame for US 30. On the 30-minute time frame, 15-minute, the middle of, wait, this is 989. Nope. So the middle of this small zone is also a 15-minute zone right here. So we can possibly get a test and rejection here on this 15-minute zone, but it's such a small zone, so I doubt. On the 30-minute time frame, I think this huge zone is a 30-minute zone, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So this big zone is a 30-minute zone. So right now for US 30, probably no trade setups for the next. Actually, these are two zones right here. Just one moment. Let me see. Yeah, so this is the other thing I was talking to you guys yesterday about. So here we have on the 30-minute time frame, we have an SAR here, we have an SAR here in the middle, we have an SAR down here. So previously, like what I used to do, I used to draw two SAR zones, one at the top that's drawn with the top SAR and the middle one, and the other one at the bottom that's drawn from the middle SAR to the bottom one. But when you have an odd number of SARs, just draw the most optimal zone. So at this point, I'll delete this top one because I would rather trade off of this bottom one than this top one. So that also clears out your chart a little bit and you're able to see some of these things. So here on the 30-minute, maybe I'll get a 30-minute test and rejection, but nothing really yet. Let's see on the 1 minute if it forms any SAR. So keep in mind here on the 1 minute, for you to take a buy from this area, 34,020, which was the 30-minute buy momentum from yesterday also, you would want on the 1 minute time frame US 30 to start creating SARs on the 1 minute so that you can have that candle rejecting from the SAR. So there was nothing here, nothing here. So unless gold decides to come back down or wants to keep going back up and gets, what's this zone? This is a 15-minute zone. So might get a 15-minute test and rejection later on in the day. So I think that might be it for today. I don't like where EU is. Sometimes on EU, if you go to the 15-minute time frame, you get a lot of SAR. So I'm trying to reduce the amount of SARs I'm trading and just select the optimal ones. This is a 30-minute one. So you want like SARs to be evident or obvious. So you don't want to start questioning where should I, which ones are doubles, which ones are triples or whatever. So you want it to be like so clear. So you see like this 30-minute one, I didn't even have to think twice before drawing it because they were the only ones in that area. So this would be for EU. However, based off of how EU moves, I'm not willing to use my last trade of the day, possibly last trade of the day, to take this trade, even though it does. Anyway, we have 37 minutes for this to either validate or not. So rather either save my last trade for gold in this zone or save it for US 30. So you can see here, US 30 has created a live SAR. So here, what you would want, if you want to trade this 30-minute momentum buy, you would want for US 30 to get here, and then you'd want a 1-minute candle to reject off of here, and then you'd want any of the next high candles higher than this swing low to be the buy signal, and then that's what I would consider a valid momentum buy. Let's go to this hourly time frames. I think this is I think this is a 4-hour zone. Yeah, this down here is a 4-hour zone. So there's nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. Yeah, so I don't see anything else. 4-hour. Yeah, this is a 4-hour zone. Yeah, I don't see anything else coming up anytime soon. So the only trade is that US 30 momentum one. And we'll see how that goes.
Price is also around the same zone it took off from yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, what time is it? 10:30. So if we haven't gotten anything by 10:45, I'll just call it a day. Let's see. Is that FTML? Anyway, that's the loss I took. Guess due to slippage, it was even a little bit more than 1% for me. But with the risk to reward, if I win the next trade, I'll actually be up 2K, because if I take another trade and I win it, I'll make 4K from it and I'll be up 2K. So with the 1:2 risk to reward, so long as you're following it and setting break even when you need to and taking the loss when you need to, shouldn't be worried about when you take the losses. The best thing you can do, I would say, is try and find something that gives you high probabilities. So this looks similar to the last month. The last month as well, right? It started off near similar thing where we started off in some losses, break evens, and then eventually the trades started picking up. So even with this huge losses that you might see here because of the win, like on Tuesday and the last Wednesday, only down like minus 0.625 for the month. So it's not a huge deal. You just have to be patient and make sure you're taking or you're not forcing anything. I don't think we'll get this. So what is it? We were on the 15-minute time frame. There's a 15. So this is the bottom one is a 30-minute one, right? 980. Wait. Just a second. 981. Oh, 61, yeah. The bottom one is a 30-minute zone, or the larger one is a 30-minute zone. This one down here, this small zone is a 15-minute zone. And looks like they both will either, no, I was gonna say they both will either validate at the same time, but no. For this 15-minute one, it may validate at 10:45, or the 30-minute one may validate at 11 a.m. Yeah, anyway, I don't see anything else, to be honest with you guys. Wait, watch the you see that 15-minute? Where is that? Where was I when that? Oh, that was a 1 minute. Never. Oh, I thought I saw a 15-minute momentum, but never mind. Yeah. So for me, I'll wait for the 15-minute and 30-minute setups. So I won't be taking this momentum ones. Yeah, but unless you guys have any last questions, that will be it for me for today. I'm still looking. I still have one trade left that I can take today before meeting my max amount of losses I can do for the day, because my max loss personally is 2%. So I don't want to risk anything more than that. So it's either, let's see, yeah, so this EU as well invalidated. So the continuation candle did not close above that SAR zone. Zone is still valid, but at this point you'd have to wait for another break and continuation. Yeah, but unless you guys have any last questions, that will be it for me for today. Also, keep an eye out on this 15. It's something I have to backtest, but if I'm not wrong, this 15 and let's do a quick visual backtesting. So this was at 1 a.m., 1 p.m. on Wednesday. Let's see 1 p.m. on Tuesday. I was still bullish on US 30. So Tuesday, 1 p.m. There was nothing. Monday, 1 p.m. What's that? 13. No, nothing. This is a 15-minute time frame. You'd have to go to the 15-minute and 30. But just do a visual backtest around that 12 noon to 2 p.m. for both US 30 and gold, depending on what the daily bias is. Check for any momentums on the 15-minute or and 30-minute time frames, like during midday to like 2 p.m. Just do a visual backtest of those and see, because I've noticed the other day there was one. I don't know if it was gold, but there was a similar one that came up around the same time. Because normally, what is it, 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern time is what is it called? Power hour. So it's when there's that last rush in volatility in the market. So yeah, just do a visual backtest on that. Oh yeah, this is what I knew. I knew I wasn't missing something. This is a momentum, right? This, if this validates, this is similar to yesterday. What happened yesterday? Yesterday, uh, I had the one I entered personally was this test and rejection, but there was also a momentum buy. If that buy, you can see it's trying to form, but it's also disappearing. If this buy actually forms, that will be a valid momentum buy. However, you would want to wait for price to retrace to that area, to the low of the candle, whatever the low of this candle is, because it looks like if this candle closes, if this current 15-minute candle closes as a bullish candle, then there will be two setups. It's either there will be a test and rejection entry, which I can actually mark up because this little zone in here, this is a double SAR zone. So test and rejection buy, possible test and rejection buy. So there will be two trade markups. That one. Let me just use this one. Either that one, or again, if this candle, 15-minute candle closes as a bullish candle, it will fire a momentum buy. So if you guys saw it when the candle was bullish, there's a buy that's trying to form. So that will also be a momentum buy. And ideally what you'd want for price to retrace there at the low of that candle. And then as soon as it retraces, go down to the 1 minute and find like an entry on the 1 minute time frame. So by then, I'm pretty sure on the 1 minute time frame, even now, there's a bunch of SARs that are being created. So there's one, so there's that one, and it might create another one or a couple more. So just watch out for those ones. And for me, I think I would rather take the momentum one. So we'll see which one validates, but just keep an eye out on those possible two setups right there. And that's gonna be it for me. If you guys have any questions, send them to the Discord. Other than that, I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow, or Monday. All right, see you guys. Got this closed. Zoom is frozen.